2, 3.
So welcome to session 1C, which is all about increasing our self-confidence. You know, a lot of us, when we did our breakthrough plans, checked off that self-confidence was, for the majority of us, the biggest obstacle that we need to overcome. So we're going to talk about self-confidence and some things that go along with that as far as our personal experiences and how sharing them can actually, you know, create a bond between others and get others motivated and on the right path and on the same page as you as well. And then communicating with clarity and conciseness. So instead of rambling or, you know, taking all this time to discuss things, we're very short and we're sweet with people, so that way they have a better understanding of what we're trying to say to them a little bit quicker. And then just looking at our past experiences and how we can be more open in sharing them with others. So before we do that, earlier we worked on our vision statement, and what we're going to do now in just a moment, we're going to find 3 people. So grab your vision statement and start talking with people all around our group to find someone that has a similar vision as you. After you discuss that, make sure that you write that person's name down on your vision statement, so that way we can each hold ourselves accountable to accomplishing our vision in the future. So in a moment, please stand. Let's take about 5 minutes, find 3 people with similar visions as you, and then when you're finished, please be seated. Are there any questions about what we're doing? Great. Please stand. You have 5 minutes. Please begin. We'll regroup. All right. So what kind of things did we discover? Great. Thank you. So how can sharing our visions with others and finding commonalities, how can that help us reach our goals? Yeah. Absolutely. And then in turn, what does that do for our organization? What's the bigger picture of that? Yeah, more productivity, more buy-in. Thank you. Absolutely. So let's hold ourselves accountable. We have our accountability partners that are written down on our vision statements. So going forward, you know, check in every once in a while if you want to write down your phone numbers and text each other or email each other, just to make sure that we are on track to our goal. Okay. Now, if you remember, in the previous session, we talked about thinking of a defining moment. So something that happened in our specific life, whether it be in our childhood, professional life, just anything that really impacted us. What was a moment in our life that defined who we are today? So in a moment, we're going to stand and find a partner, and we're going to practice our 2-minute defining moment talk. So that way we can get kind of some of those jitters out and think about how we're going to say our story. So in a moment, please stand, find a partner, decide who will go first, and then once I say begin, one person will have 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes is up, we'll reverse roles, and the second person will give their defining moment talk. Any questions? All right, please stand, find a partner. Who's going first? Raise your hand. All right, person that's going first, you have 2 minutes. Please begin. Reverse roles, 2 minutes, please begin. All right, please be seated. So we do have a ready chair over at the side. So if we need to make sure that the ready chair is always filled, so that way we keep a constant flow. So who would like to go first? Okay, so then we all do our defining moment talks, and then we recap and we vote. And for summary, this is how a summary would look. All right. So in a moment, we're going to get into groups of 4. And in these groups of 4, we're going to discuss a couple different things. One, how can sharing defining moments impact our relationships with people and enhance them? And then talk about also how our past experiences can help us gain buy-in and motivate others as well. So let's take 4 minutes in our groups to discuss. Okay. So we'll do that, and then discuss 3 E's. So let's think of someone who's a persuasive communicator. Who are some examples of some maybe famous people that we know of that are, you know, great communicators? Right? Abraham Lincoln, absolutely. Martin Luther King, that's great. So what kind of characteristics made these individuals persuasive? passionate, they believed in it. And what does that do for us when we listen to someone who truly believes in something? Yeah, so we believe in it as well, right? And so right up here is our communications grid. So there's 4 different actions of the communications grid. There's entertaining, informing, taking action, and then convincing. And the level of response required for a listener is all based upon the purpose of our communication. So for example, if we're just hosting a party, if we're talking, if we're trying to entertain, we don't really need a whole lot of response from the listener, right? But if we're informing them, we need a little bit more. So for example, when we're trying to convince somebody to do something or to take action, or we want someone to be on board with us, we need to have a big strength of listening from that person. And we need to have a purpose to what we're talking about. And what we're saying and what we're doing to motivate others also depends on how we're saying it and how we're presenting it as well. And we have something called the 3 E's of communication. So the first E is you've earned the right. So when we earn the right to talk about something, what does that mean? Right, yeah. So if I were to teach you, to bake a cake, and this is how you bake a cake, and you do all of these things, but I've never baked a cake in my life, are you going to believe what I'm saying or take action in doing it? Right? Great. So when we've earned the right, it means that we've lived it, we've done it, and it gives us the right to talk about it and to give others that inspiration to take action. And then we also have to be excited. We can't just go into it being monotone and just tired. We have to be excited in what we're doing, so it's all about our actions, our physical attributes, and then we need to be eager to talk about it as well. So what's the difference between being excited and eager? Is there really a difference? Right, yeah, so it's a little bit different, absolutely. So Dale Carnegie came up with a simple formula called the 2-minute magic formula talk. And with this talk, this will be something that we'll be using over the next few weeks. So with the magic formula talk, it's a 2-minute talk that incorporates an incident, an action, and a benefit. So for example, the magic formula dives in 1 minute and 50 seconds into the incident that happened. So when we're thinking about, something in our lives that happened to us, or giving a 2-minute talk, we go straight into the action. So for example, so there I was last Friday, or there I was in my office on Tuesday at 9:30. So you're taking us specifically into the action. So it kind of eliminates all that backstory. And then after the 1 minute and 50 seconds is up, the next part of the magic formula talk will be to give an action. And an action is very clear and concise. It's only 5 seconds long. So it's either going to be a few short words or just one straight sentence on my advice to you would be to do this. And then finally, we're going to wrap a little bow on it and give our 5-second benefit. So for example, my advice to you would be to smile. And when you do this, others will be more comfortable around you. So this is going to be the formula of talk that we will be using over the next few weeks, is the 2-minute magic formula talk. So we're going to go straight into the action, 1 minute and 50 seconds, then we're going to go into an action and then a benefit. Would you like to hear an example? Great. All right, I'll give an example. So with our 2-minute magic formula talk, what are some benefits of keeping it very short and concise like this? Right? Yeah. So what happens when it gets too long? Great, thank you. So be prepared next week to come back with a 2-minute magic formula talk about how we apply one of the first set of human relations principles 1 through 10. So think about a specific incident over the next week. What's going to happen? Where's this going to happen at? And then think about maybe someone that we're going to use it with. And then remember the 5-second action and the 5-second benefit as well. All right? So that's session 1C.